Fast forward, my man will say a more cover and brought channel your social swamps. I'll say a pop creation television. Podcast stories are training me Chris big headlines. Near Jemre, na EDB Akroma Ewaha. Need me on Braxi Muse Ende. EDD can you message to me a subscribe to the channel. Hit on notification bell, share a map of friends to answer into me. Can be an idiom. I will leave you a comment under the comment section. And make sure when your cases are in sir. Young Raying Sim.
Right, so we go back to our earlier story where the Supreme Court, by a narrow 3-2 majority decision, has dismissed an application seeking to halt the ongoing process to remove Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo and revoke her suspension. The motion was filed by Old Trafford MP Vincent Assifua and argued in court by attorney Godfred Yeboah Dame. Now let's speak to the plaintiff, Vincent Assifua, following the Supreme Court's decision. Thank you very much, Honorable, for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Now, first of all, are you disappointed by the court's ruling, and if so, why?
Well, obviously that was not the conclusion that I expected. That was not what I expected. But of course, the Supreme Court has spoken. The Supreme Court says that on the 21st of May, the reasoning behind their ruling will be made available to us. And so when it is finally made available to us, then I will see the reasoning behind it, whether or not it holds water. If it does, I'll leave the matter to rest. If it doesn't, in my opinion, then I'm likely to file for a review.
Right.
Even before we get in hold of the reasoning, it is clear that even at the Supreme Court, 2 of the Supreme Court judges agreed with my position and ruled in favor of my argument. And so it gives me some indication that I'm likely to go back to the Supreme Court.
Right now, your lawyer also objected to the acting Chief Justice presiding over the matter. Now, beyond his seniority on the bench, that automatically makes him acting due to the vacancy of the position of the Chief Justice. Do you have any additional concerns that warranted this objection?
Well, the argument that was made in the court today was not necessarily about the constitutionality or the legality of the Chief Justice, that is the acting Chief Justice, sitting on the case. Constitutionally, legally, and to be fair with the matters, it is going to be disingenuous on my part to say that the Chief Justice cannot sit on the matter. He can constitutionally, but when we say that justice should not only be done, but should be seen to be done. If it should be seen to be done, then you have every responsibility to make sure that you don't put yourself in a position that will create an impression in the mind of an ordinary Ghanaian, a bystander, to think that what happened is not fair. So we are raising points on fairness, on what is supposed to be just and not constitutionality. So something can be constitutional, but is it just? Something can be illegal, but is it fair? And so we felt that in the circumstances, the acting Chief Justice should not have sat on the matter. If you check the paneling very well, all the 3 justices that was asked to replace 3 other justices who left the panel all voted against my injunction. So it is possible that the 3 justices have made a decision that is constitutional, but you leave it open. You allow people to make their own conclusion that this may not be only constitutional, but it seems not to be just. And that is what we were praying the court to see reason in our argument, that please let us not only be constitutional. Let us find a way to be fair and just so that Ghanaian people will have confidence in our judicial system. A very big example is what happened in 2012. In the 2012 election petition, Georgina Wood, JSC, who was the Chief Justice at the time, appointed by President Kufuor. President Kufuor's party sent a petition to the Supreme Court challenging the validity of the elections of the 2012 general elections. Georgina Wood constitutionally could have sat on the matter. Georgina Wood legally could have sat on the matter. Nothing stopped Georgina Wood to have sat on the matter. But for purposes of letting people know that justice may not only have to be done, but justice will have to be seen to be done. It will have to appear that indeed justice is done. She recused herself and allowed other justices to sit on the matter so that the Ghanaian people will have confidence in the justice system. Well, investors will have confidence in the justice system.
But now this is what has happened, and this is the decision or the ruling that came up today. Now that the injunction application has been dismissed, the committee is going to proceed with its work. Now, given what you said earlier, waiting the explanation to the ruling, if it comes in and you are quite satisfied, would that be the end of the case for you, or you probably seek other political avenues?
Well, if it comes and I'm satisfied, we will allow the matter to rest. But if it doesn't, what that means is that we are going to seek for a review to allow the Supreme Court to review its own decision, which has been enshrined in our 1992 Constitution, that the Supreme Court can review its own decision in the event that there has been a ruling, which ruling a party is dissatisfied with. So it is my respective opinion that ab initio, even before I see the reasoning, I have a sense that the 2 justices who were in ad idem with my reasoning in court is going to be the touchlight for me to know what to do even from now till the 21st, so that I prepare myself before the time, so that when I see the judgment or I see the ruling and I am not satisfied, then quickly I'll file for a review.
It's we and some ahodo to call so channel so high population television. Yamisha on Trewashim, so Yemre Ewaha, or Maria so between subscribe, share, hit on notification bell. Na Emma Busia Kuno, and Kesi. Yamisha say Obekan Busia Kuno. That's an so bad here, don't be a dominion, and send me na Yansum or Quanson Cosocra. Ha, a population television. And that's why Yemre.